Hello, friends. We're so glad you could all be here, wherever here is for you. This will be a guided meditation about why meditation matters to a life of wholeness, a sense of self that feels firm, undivided, and convinced of its right to be, convinced of its worth. We're going to try to lower any guarded feelings we have as our meditation begins. If you feel guarded about whether meditation works, or what other people's opinions are about self-love, all of it, we're going to just rest in the moment here. And remember, a healthy mind is one that believes in its self-worth. We're going to think about why meditation is the soil from which self-love can really grow. Try to find a position that feels okay for you. Something that could enable stillness for the remainder of this meditation. Whether partial stillness or full, as long as we're trying, that's what matters most. It's good to be in a position where we'll still be receptive to narration and maybe not too distracted or too comfortable. But don't think you have to be excessively strict or inflexible. Don't worry about how long it will be or if you'll survive the moments of silence. Too often, people will try to meditate and then they react with frustration that they couldn't master their restless mind within the first 36 seconds. Sometimes it's about the process, not necessarily about completion or proficiency. Just having a meditative practice is a sign you care enough about your mind. Focus on the practice for now, not the arrival. Many of us have found a deeper love within us from meditating every day. We thought less about external approval and were finally able to start living, since the acceptance of others didn't feel like such high stakes anyways. Our bliss wasn't totally dependent on the applause of everyone. Approval from strangers wasn't our goal anymore. And so a change of direction came. We came back to us. We stopped trying to figure everyone else out and stopped underestimating ourselves. We stopped seeing our lives from the standards or intimidations of others. We started to have less days where we didn't believe we had a place in this world. With the clarity from meditation, we can discover what needs we have that are unmet. The body can feel relaxed too, less inflamed or tense. At the Queer Plus Lotus channel, we believe in meditation's power, and we want to see it accessible to all folks. You may have heard of Zazen, TM, Vipassana, or maybe you've tried some random guided meditation apps, etc. A simple moment of silence can help us look within. Let's try to find a place where we won't be disturbed both around us and inside us. We hear a lot about meditation these days. We see wealthy cliques using it as a trend, and we might grow cynical at corporations turning mindfulness into a brand. It also seems trendy to be cynical about anything gaining attention in the world. If it isn't us, right? Perhaps it's the ego doing all this behind the scenes. Let's think about the common techniques and practices related to meditation. One skill is calming down the anxious voices in our heads rather than going along with all their terrified assumptions from another defenseless era. You can quiet your mind as if you're lowering the volume button on your phone. Try visualizing the volume dial or knob or switch, and imagine you are decreasing all the noise. It's not a permanent setting, just a kickstart to allow our consciousness to increase. The volume might jump back up, but you can elegantly and tenderly lower it once again. Suddenly, mindfulness enters our consciousness, and it's like a veil lifted from our eyes. You can visualize the sunshine finally coming out, with its mysterious impact on our mood. In the meditation scene, there can be dogmatic rules around our positioning or around rituals when meditating, and some groups don't consider all types of people when setting up their location. Don't worry about requirements for body positions right now. It's all about the stillness of mind that comes once you begin. If you can manage to be totally still and resist any fidgeting, then certainly try to do so. But if you can't, that's fine as well. No one should feel excluded from finding a meditation practice that works for them. No one should worry they'll be punished by purists. No one should feel they have to remain around no one because they can't replicate the way others do things. But also try to be skeptical if a voice of doubt or resentment takes things too far. Don't let any shame deprive you from something that's quite healing and relaxing. It's ultimately a balance here, where we can recognize our limits, but also distrust our anxieties that hold us back. A good skill here is the ability of discernment. Now let's talk about mantra meditation. Using a mantra is an ancient technique to tap into peace or oneness, or even to just be able to focus, all by utilizing the human attention. A mantra is a continual sound or word we think of in order to support our concentration. We don't need to adhere to our mantra. We don't need to get possessive about the word. When you think about it, all words are just sounds with certain meanings. Try to focus on the soft repetition of whatever you pick. You might create a sound and assign your own meaning to it. It can be a nonsensical word with no associative meanings to distract the mind. Or it can be the name of a goddess or a galaxy. The Om is considered the most sacred mantra in Hinduism. Use whatever helps you dive deeply within. Whatever will give you the wisdom to move forward in life among the unavoidable things. Plenty of us who meditate have had a lifetime of difficulties maintaining attention. And that's not to say that meditating has solved it. Rather, it gave us a chance to step into our distracted minds. To be able to be present with the blizzard of thoughts, rather than hate ourselves for it. Even if you only have a few minutes of genuine focus throughout a 20-minute meditation session, you may be surprised at how warming and elevating it feels. As time goes on, your thoughts can stray. They probably will stray. This isn't a bad thing. Sometimes an interesting idea can come from following your thoughts upstream. But at some point, it's best to return to the present moment, to your breath. Try to whisper that mantra in your mind so gently. As if no effort were needed to say the mantra. You just naturally say it in a very soft way, as if the mantra in your mind manifests. No effort needed. Arising as life itself arises. Like a field with fireflies just appearing and then disappearing. This quiet source of light that just is, and then isn't, and then it is, and then it isn't. Whenever you return to your mantra or breath, you can celebrate. Be glad you returned to another attempt at focusing. It doesn't matter if you need to try hundreds of times. The mind will stray. What matters is you catching it at some point. By being able to like the person we are, we don't need to find subtle hints of disapproval from others to uphold some self-hating view we keep carrying. We know there are people who love and support us, and we believe them more and more with each meditation session. We can learn to stop fearing retaliation every time we are a little assertive for our needs. We can learn to stop self-sabotaging over every little rude remark, or if one person at our job dislikes us. We'll stop expecting an eternal punishment after we make a reasonable mistake, a mistake any human being could make. Even dramatic mistakes are quite normal. There's no way to live without the occasional embarrassing error, and we'll finally stop holding ourselves to such high standards when we can find a confluence of calm, kindness, and forgiveness that a clear mind of meditation slowly builds over time. We can learn every day to stop seeing our face and body with bottomless disgust. Some moments will come when we harshly judge our appearances, but we'll grow faster at noticing those moments and gently correcting them. We won't be repressing our negative feelings either. There's plenty who see the happiness meditation brings as mindlessly optimistic, or that we're living in some fairy tale. But we actually are quite aware of the real tragedies and hardships all face inevitably. We're just also seeing the impersonal nature attached, and we're able to see the goodness and love that still exists too. We allow the scary and awful things to bring about more of a reason to be loving and patient. We properly feel and mourn all the lost opportunities for love or reunion. We can learn to stop listening to the voice in our head that blame us for everything wrong. Meditation helps us learn that the negative experiences aren't the whole story. We may even feel the stress hormones in our body reducing. If we have a mind that naturally worries, the body may be the thing carrying us past any panic. It's like our mind will say, "I need something to worry about." And our body will say, "Can't help you, sorry. Don't have the cortisol to make that happen. I'm too present here, where maybe there isn't always something to worry about." Let's just try a few minutes of quiet. If your eyes are closed, you can keep them closed. Or if you need to, you can open them slightly to watch the candle burning. Try to believe that you can survive a few minutes alone with yourself. You'll only turn away from yourself if some part of you feels you're not worth being alone with. This is a symptom of shame, the opposite of self-love, and perhaps the most dangerous feeling. You deserve some time with yourself. You can survive a few moments of silence without your phone, without distractions. You can. You have to believe you can. And you have to know you're not disgusting or lame or pathetic. Think of your mantra as a gem that can only be held through soft words. A gem that's value only increases the more you mindfully repeat its name internally. The more you meditate, the more people will see it shine from within you. Meditation isn't about owning expensive prayer beads or having luxury yoga pants or being able to sit full lotus. It's a matter of inner survival. Meditation can be your home. This is where self-love comes into existence. This is where we can finally just be. Thank you, friends.